What's up, superstars? Welcome back to the Kansas City Esports Cup. We are here live with our Smash Bros. Ultimate teams, getting ready and steady to go as we're going to have a slobber knocker of a matchup here today. We're going to be doing the crew battle format, so each team will be bringing, I believe we got 5 competitors on each side with 3 stocks apiece. And whoever takes out the other team's stock pool first will be declared the victor. And we're doing best of 3, so looks like we're about to get right into it. Gonna cut us right to that action. Right. Oh, and we're starting on Kalos. Not a stage you see too often, but this is going to be one of the largest stages we have access to in the rotation. So it's going to be interesting. You know, kills will not come easy, but honestly, both of these champs, both Ness and Game & Watch, they boast a lot of KO power with certain moves, though, specifically. So if they're able to kind of land those big haymakers, we could see stocks flying regardless of the size of the stage. So it's going to be interesting. All right, and the first stock is off the stage. A very good way to close out that KO. We just keep seeing the offense. You see Ness with that PK fire move. It's a really reliable combo starter. But speaking of reliable, the down smash from Game & Watch does bear your opponent right in place if you get that perfect hitbox, and gives him ample time to follow up with that F smash. Good stuff from Game & Watch there. The orange seems to be looking to keep this one close. Alright, some shenanigans on that platform there. Yeah, the orange is sitting at a really high percent. If Ness can land a big move, that stock could be eviscerated. But you see, Kala's really helping out here. Oh, still gonna die coast to coast there on the back throw. That is a solid way to get yourself ahead of stock. Alright. Big combo starter there, but wow, immediately coming back down and just runs up and throws another PK fire. Looking for blood here. Oh my gosh, tries to use the PK rocket. If that connects, that would have had increased knockback power. And Game & Watch, as you can see, he's only 2-dimensional, does not pack that much weight. One of the lightest characters in the game would not have survived at all. But the orange just trying to slow down the pace of the game, trying to make sure that momentum doesn't carry forward. The orange just spacing out with his aerials, which is exactly how you have to kind of play against Ness, because up close and personal, he'll do a lot of damage, but you get him at just right out of reach, you can punish just like that down smash did. There goes the back throw, kills Sparks, and that is GG. So we got 2 stocks, only dropping 1. Pretty efficient. Or, sorry, we got 3 stocks, only dropping 1. Pretty efficient on WellSky's part. Going to be able to kind of move forward without much of an issue on their end. Okay, so we are going to be in tow as we're waiting for who will be the counter pick. A great opening set to kind of start us off. Like I mentioned, Kalos, it being a bigger stage, did come in handy there a couple of times, but that Ness back throw, it just packs so much power. It doesn't matter how large the stage is, it's just going to fling Game & Watch right out into next Sunday. So, honestly well played from both players, but obviously WellSky is going to be up because of that performance. And in these crew battles, starting off strong is actually a very important thing. You know, it puts your team in a really great position, gives you as many pieces to play with as possible, as you have, you know, a full squad waiting in the wings that you can kind of throw in whenever you need to. So I really like how things are going for the WellSky squad here. PUG, though, they have a chance to answer back here. Whoever they put in next is going to really be the tone setter, because if they throw that in and things go south, you know, the crew battle starts getting really hard to come back from. But, you know, I believe in our competitors, so I believe, you know, it could really go either way. This is what I would call a pivotal game. Let's see. All right. And how are you all doing, chat? It's been a pretty good day. Honestly, wonderful weather we've had. It's been really hot. You know, summer is here, and we got Smash action coming right at you. Let's get right into it. All right, the second game of this crew battle. So Ness is gonna have to drop a stock, as he lost that one stock in the beginning of the other round. All right, and let's get right into it. All right, we're here on Battlefield. The double fares. Okay, as you can see, Robin, you know, gonna be playing this a little bit different. Has the sword to try and keep Ness out, but the very important thing is that these projectiles are going to really make it hard for Ness to get in. But honestly, if you have the movement and you can kind of weave around where you expect them to be, you could really make Robin's life a lot harder. And as you can see, I mean, that's already coming to fruition. The PK Fire sets up perfectly for that up smash, going around the world with that one. And Diego on his second stock already. Okay, does land 11 hits, and there goes a little bit of a thunder. Oh, big side magnet, which absorbs all magical projectiles, giving Ness a little bit of rejuvenation. Gonna try to early up B, gets right over the yo-yo. Okay, Diego is able to, you know, release some of the pressure there. Kind of get back onto even ground. A little bit of a wave dash, but can't find a follow-up. Gonna meet the other end of a yo-yo. And man, just beautiful game plan here. Runs up and throws the fire. It's kind of like PK Fire from Ness, but Arc Fire just has like a different arc that it travels, and then doesn't quite last as long. So it's a it's kind of same vibe but completely different usage. Oh, the L Thunder, that multi-hit actually helping out there for Diego. Runs up and gets the grab, but can't find anything after that. Does throw away the Dark Book, getting it out of rotation. Okay, and wow, yep, just land, get the grab, and that back throw is going to take another victim. You can see that we're trying to land those PK Fires to just get everything started, but Diego just gonna try to find something. There goes that command grab with the Dark Book. Okay, does PK Magnet that fire spell. Okay, there goes the up smash, doing more damage, and honestly, this is looking good for Ness. Oh, a big PK Fire to start, and the tipper of the bat, sending them out of the park. And if you are unaware, it's kind of similar to real baseball, where if you hit it with kind of like that sweet spot on the bat, it's gonna have more knockback, send your opponent sky high with that one. A beautiful way to send off there, and honestly, super efficient on the stocks here, as this nest for WellSky has alone took it 6 stocks. Not unanswered, did lose 2 of his own, but now PUG is put on the back foot for sure here. Oh man, crazy workings here. So far so good. If you enjoy Nest gameplay, you've been eating so far. We've had some pretty good PK fire confirms, and honestly, the way we sent off that second game with the PK fire into the tipper back, killing at like 60%, really lethal stuff. Very lethal stuff. So I'm excited to see if we could have one stock in a dream here. See if we could get more stocks off of this premier competitor from WellSky, but honestly, I'm looking for PUG to put up something. All right, just waiting on the counter pick competitor. Yeah, like I said, PUG not in a very enviable position here. You got an opponent who has a head full of steam looking to take a stock, and honestly is a whole really low risk, high reward here scenario for WellSky, because the player in right now only has 1 stock, so he can play as crazy as he wants because he just really needs to take that one, and then taking that 1 stock means a lot for WellSky, while taking the 1 stock for PUG numerically doesn't really get you as much as you would like, So let's see what they got cooking up. Hey, hey. It's been a pretty interesting week for sure, in terms of a lot of things. But I think this is going to be a great way to kind of cap off some week 4 action between these 2 competitors. I mean, so far, like I said, these matches have been really good. Oh, another thing that happened, I worked out some kinks, and I think at least the last time you guys saw me, which would have been I think week 2, maybe week 1, week 2, I forget which was my first casting, but I think it was week 1 because we had the delay or whatever. Anyways, I was getting like a lot of disconnection errors, but I did some tweaking on my end, and hopefully Nintendo won't boot us out any more spectators. So I'm pretty happy about that, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah. So no interruptions on that end. Pretty excited to see what we can get. Right, we have our competitor set and ready to go. Let's get right into it. All right, if you're just tuning in, we're here with the Kansas City Corporate Esports Cup, and we're still in the weekly round robin phase. Week 4, we got WellSky's team versus the PUG Smash crew, trying to see which one of these teams will come out on top. Right now, WellSky in a very good position. They led off with this nest, coming in with a head full of steam, able to take 6 stocks basically unanswered. Sitting only on 1 stock, PUG has quite the tall task ahead of them, as they pretty much want to be able to get Z off the map here, but not lose anything more, because he's already done so much damage, like a freaking wrecking ball in the China shop, right? Or I guess it's supposed to be bull in the China shop, but yeah, no. Alright, so 2 stocks off the board, and we're gonna get right into it. So I love the FD pick, you know. Giving Ness no platforms to work with does hamper some of his options, and then, you know, a character like Pyramithra who has that sword and just so many disjointed hitboxes to kind of keep Ness out is going to be pretty nice. As you can see, Pyle drives with that up B. Oh, and yep, the double bounce, but oh, off on the angle on that one. And PUG gets the most optimal outcome here for this round. You know, taking the 1 stock without dropping one of their own. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, so that was a quick one, but a very important one. PUG really needed that to kind of cut the lead down to only 3 stocks. And now they don't have to really worry about WellSky's first member taking any more stocks, because they already claimed 6 to themselves. You know, anything more would just be heinous and put them in a very bad position. So now, if, you know, the Pyramithra on the board can do some damage, you know, take 2 to 3 stocks here, PUG can be right back in this like nothing ever happened. So I'm very excited to see what we got on the board, as I know WellSky has some hitters that they can bring out. So it really depends on who this next player coming in is and what they're looking to do, and if they're able to do it. That's the more important thing. Alrighty. And while we're rating, big shout outs to the sponsors. The Kansas City Esports Cup is powered by Dick Ray. Big ups to them. And shout outs to our further sponsors, Henderson Engineers, Select Quote, WellSky, and of course, our boys over at KC Game On. But we got both competitors in the ring, so let's get right into it. Okay, I lied. They're not in the ring, but they're going to get in the ring. Don't hold it against me. So I think I've seen Omega on the Samus, maybe? Oh, crap. Alright, so it's gonna be Crom.
3, 2, 1, go!
And we're here on Battlefield. A battle of the blades, they say. So, you know, Pyramithra, they kind of get the best of both worlds, because they have the Swift Blade in Mithra, you know, the light blade that will have those very quick attacks that are going to be hard to keep up with. And then for sealing out stocks, you can switch to Pyra and kind of, you know, get those hard-hitting slashes that are needed to kind of, put your opponent to rest. While Crom is just kind of a 2-in-1 package who has, a good blend of swiftness and strength with his falchion that he wields. Oh no, really? After I just talked about it? There's no way. Surely I'm just buffering. It's... Oh. That's what I get, man. I shouldn't say anything. I wonder why that happened. Well, I mean, it was a good battle. I wish we could see a little bit more of it, but, no, I'm just checking. Man, sometimes Nintendo doesn't like me. That's all that really can be said. There's just not much more I can do, But I even, set the, arena participants as low as possible. Made sure my wire connection's doing good. I even, prioritized... Oh, you know what that is? Okay, actually, I have a possibility. I think I'll try to do this and then see how that goes. But regardless, bygones are bygones. We won't be able to see this. It will be lost to the ether. But we will know the results after they get out of that battle. So, it could be worse. It could be worse. I need to look back and see if my co-caster Kozak has had similar issues. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just me, It is going to be a little bit, though, because both players had 3 stocks, so they're going to do a full rotation, bro. But so far, so good. I mean, if PUG comes out on top... What? Oh, no. I think the arena closed. Huh. Well, that's a bigger issue. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to do some digging while I make sure this works. All right, no more issues. I think we got everything solved. There should be no more issues, and we could just get on with the action and not have to worry about that pesky internet, you know? So I think the players tracked down how many stocks they had, and they're just gonna run it off, and they're just gonna run off the stocks and then just go right back into scrapping.
Three, two, one, go!
All right, I believe it was 2-1. Nice. So they'll get under their respective platforms and just get right into it. Let's go. Okay. Silmac just kind of sitting on the Pyra here. Probably just wants access to those larger moves, but just extract a big uppy from Omega, though, to kind of just get that pressure off. Okay, throws the sword, gets some damage there. As you can see, Pyra does, benefit from the larger range. Oh, I like the idea there to try and catch Chrom with that big flame pillar, but just mistimed barely there. Okay, that goes to the get up attack. Rolls behind it, gets an F smash. Not quite killing, though. Big play from Sildak, and then perfectly placed the blade there to kind of cover the edge. Oh, tries to get an up smash, not going to work. Yeah, so Omega trying to chase down and get some KOs here, but not quite working. There goes the down smash, putting the shield really low. Omega's gonna have to watch out. Okay, does get a good air-to-air forward air, but can't quite capitalize out. Okay, big punish on the F smash here. Can't find the Jer and misses once again. There goes a big parry, and the F smash works out for HCFX Omega. So big finish there, very flashy from Omega to kind of be ready for that get up attack. Hit the parry and then boom, big F smash, cleans up the stock. Very nice stuff. Very nice stuff. Unfortunately, there though, PUG only took one stock off of WellSky there, so they've only dropped 4 total while PUG is down to their last 6. That means only 2 representatives from PUG. And honestly, I say 2, but, that actually doesn't sound too bad. 2 teammates and a dream, You only need you and your duo to overcome the biggest of things. So I am interested to see who they can bring in, who's going to be that anchor, and who's going to be the one to kind of set the tone, Because that's exactly what you're going to need. You're going to need someone to come in, make some damage, make some room, and then hope that anchor can kind of close it out. Because expecting one player to take 11 stocks is a lot. But expecting one player to take, 4 to 5 stocks, that's doable. That's a lot more doable. So we'll have to see what PUG got to see if they can make this game 1 that much more interesting. All right, let's go right in. so we're just getting the stage worked out. No issues, though. No issues. We're going to run right into it. Alright, so we get a battle of 2 Fire Emblem lords. Well, actually, are they both lords? I don't know. I don't know Fire Emblem, man. Not my game. But they're gonna get right into it. Ike versus Crum. 2 big boys. One wielding a much bigger sword than the other, but doesn't really have too much bearing in terms of like range. They both kind of have similar ranges. Ike, gets a little bit more distance on, that 2-handed sword he wields around like it's much lighter than what it actually is in canon. But yeah, basically Crom benefits from being a lot more speedier, and Ike doesn't get that much more distance, so it does kind of make it a little hard for him to kind of fight a speedster like Crom, especially when he's sliding right under and taking KOs with the F tilt there. Alright, using that quick draw to dash across the stage, but Omega just stays on top of it, barely out of range for that F smash to connect. Cam tries to find something here. Oh, and just, whenever Cam swings, Omega's just able to find his way behind him, above him, just anywhere out of range from the attack, and then counter strikes with his own sword strikes, because he can just kind of has free reign over the movement in this matchup. Alright, able to strike first there with the Nair. These up airs, juggling up Cam, sending him to the sky. Can't quite get the counter off. We're racking up percents, and there goes the finishing touch with that forward smash. Cam cleans up. Or cleans up Cam, my bad. Omega cleans up Cam there with the F smash, and a good showing from the Crom here. Doing quite a bit of damage to PUG's stock total. Alright, so you remember what I was saying about precarious positions? There's nothing more precarious than staring up at the scoreboard and seeing that you're the last 3 stocks for your team. But you can't think about that. You just got to go in and play the best Smash you can, So far, WellSky has been playing pretty well. I mean, they've only sinted 2 comrades, and both have taken well above their pay grade there. Only allotted 3 stocks to them, but they've both taken more than 3 stocks. As the first player, I'm trying to think. So beat the first 2 PUG guys, so that's 6, and then I think died there immediately, and now Omega has been on the tear, taking the 3 here, and I think he took 3 before, so yeah, and 6 plus 6, that does equal 12. Quick maths. We've got all the stocks accounted for, but PUG has put in their anchor, and we'll see how this goes down. Alright, so this is going to be an interesting matchup. Peach versus Crom. Peach, an aerial fighter. She loves to kind of use aerials to kind of really just brutalize the opponent. But the issue with that is that Crom has that sword, and if he just swings air to air, he's gonna win almost every time. So he's just gonna have to get crafty, like you saw there, Gamma pulling out the turnips from the ground, which gives Peach a lot more, ambiguity on how they fight their opponent. All right, big turnip toss, tries to follow up, not quite working. Omega just putting on the percent. We saw that he has a lethal ladder game that took out Cam the last time. So Gamma doing good to get back on the ground without too much trouble. Okay, does avoid the up smash, but does take an F tilt for their troubles. Oh, you see Omega trying to finish it there with a forward air, but oh, there goes another F tilt. Gamma gonna have a hard time recovering here. Just shy from the ledge. Gonna gently parasol down to their demise. Gamma on 2 of the last PUG stock. Tries to get away from the Omega pressure, but Crom is just so fast on his feet. Oh, tries to follow up with that deadly F smash there, but barely misses. Gamma can thank their stars and stripes for avoiding that one. Alright, there goes the up B. Doing 26%. It's just such a satisfying move to hit. Omega really only needs one more big slice to take out the Peach, but there's a big counter. Toad coming to Peach's defense, but speaking of counters, Omega doubles up and gives it right back to Gamma with that one. Alright, so Gamma sitting on their last stock. Barely scratched this Crom, but does get a down throw. Follows up with the back air. Oh, but the 79% just really isn't enough. Gamma's gonna need something big here. Dash attack gets met with that up B, like I said, does over 20%. Very nice to connect, and we're starting the juggling game. Omega scoops up with a jab, and there goes the back air to send PUG home for game 1 here. 10-0 victory for WellSky. Big stuff from the Crom. All right, so powerful game 1 from WellSky here, and but you know it is best of 3, so the table is reset. 15 stocks for both teams, back to even. PUG has a chance to kind of swing back here in this game 2. Really gonna, like I said, depend on how this opening gambit goes. Okay, sorry, I was jiving there, but yeah, I mean, WellSky, they have a lot to kind of pat themselves on the back for that first game, and I think they're gonna want more of the same going into the second game, but they're gonna actually start off with a different leader here. There's a specific word for somebody who starts off like the race. I don't know. There's a specific word, and my mind is just blanking on it. But regardless, I guess you call it like a lead, but that's like Pokemon brain. All right, so the stage is set, 15 to 15. I I forgot. How do I denote that one team got the game 1 win? I don't know. I don't like that. Do I do like 1-0 like this? Ooh, I like that. I like that. I mean, it's weird because kind of that you would think that would illustrate for like the week. It could that does kind of feel like it's for the standings though. Is there somewhere I could put this where it's a bit more neutral instead of on one side? You know, I'm just like, you know, we're just testing stuff out, chat, trying to see it. Okay, that goes nowhere. Oh, what if I put it here? I kind of like that. I mean, it does have like the microphone next to it though, so that's a little rough, but I think that kind of works. Yeah, I can't do anything without the microphone, but we are in game 1 here. Sean on the Wolf, and I believe that was the Pyramithra player from last game on the Greninja, switching it up with the water starter. And speaking of a starter, Sean gets that down smash. Woo. You can see here Sonic just trying to poke and prod as Greninja does. You know, he's kind of a character that, you know, dashes in, gets his little combo, and then dashes out. But, man, Wolf just brings the fight to you. And there's not much you could do if the Wolf kind of, you know, just kind of out damages you. If you're kind of playing that game where you both go tit for tat, Wolf is going to end up on top because of just his damage output is so high. Or it can be. Specifically, Sean has been doing pretty good about putting on the damage. As you can see, has completely lapped Silnak here on this second stock. Tries to get a cheeky back here to seal the stock, but Sean gets right back. There goes a 4-throw there. Another scenario. Set it up pretty well, but just can't find the finish. Okay, jab. 1, 2, 3. Sean tries to find a forward air, doesn't quite connect. Doesn't get the final hit of the up B, so not going to send Greninja the other way. Oh, tries to find that F smash, doesn't quite work out, and a big down smash to cover both sides there. Greninja finds the stock, and we're going even blow for blow. But a little bit uneven on the percentages here. Silnak sitting at 137. The next big move from Sean will take out the Greninja, but he does need to watch out here because it feels like Sean is just trying to look for that KO blow, but does find it. I was about to say, you know, sometimes when you see your opponent at those red percents, you kind of get tunnel visioned and trying to just take the stock instead of, you know, playing the game regularly and trying to just, you know, land hits where you can. And that could be the downfall for some players, but honestly, Sean able to find that F tilt, a pretty safe move to kind of throw out and get that KO. So good stuff from him. Okay, but Silnak finding some conversions here, but a big way to get back onto stage is Sean. Another dash attack, doing the damage, and another weight out on the counter. Sean just looking into the matrix here, but can't find any connection on either of those down smashes. Goes back up, pulls out the blaster, but not quite finding a hit there as the counter gives Greninja the upper hand. Okay, the F smash not quite working, but can't punish with the F smash of his own. Oh, rolls right into the down smash though. Met the other end of those water kunais there. This technically could go either way. Obviously, Silnak is a little bit behind with the percentages really high. I thought we could work our way out, but alas. Yeah, I think it ended shortly after that. So, we didn't miss out too much. We just missed out on that kill and blow. Let's see who came out on top. I imagine Sean. Yeah, Sean found it there. And, yeah, a really great back and forth game 1 there. But Sean, like I said, just kind of kept the edge, was able to get more damage out on Silnak, and Silnak could not just keep up with the damage output there. So Sean is going to take the dub there. Big Dog Club. Alright, while we got a lull in the action, big shout outs to Dick Ray for powering the Kansas City Corporate Esports Cup here today, and shout out to the rest of the sponsors. Big shout out. As you can see, they kind of just they kind of just go below me, but WellSky, big shout outs to them, Henderson Engineers, Select Quote, and of course the boys over at KC Game On. Big ups to everybody. And hey, if you guys do have a Prime in chat here and want to drop it, you'll get access to some really cool emotes and can join in on the fun. But let's get right back into the game as both players are ready to scrap here. Sean gonna run off 2 of those stocks, as Sean only came out of the first bout with 1 stock to his name. Gamma gonna be on the other side, looking to restore honor to the PUG Smash crew. So let's see how this goes. So Wolf and Lucina really brings me back to 2018, because at the beginning of the game, both base game characters, no DLC to be found here. And, just 2 characters that are very popular in the competitive scene at the beginning, at the release of the game. Because, to be honest, they're just pretty fundamental. Lucina, if you're looking for a sword character, this is the most bread and butter sword character you have on the screen. No really crazy mechanics to Lucina. She just has really good sword swipes. You swing A and forward, she will swing her sword forward. It's pretty simple. While on the other side, you have Wolf, who kind of just has more. He's not really simple, but he has a very complete kit. Oh, man. Really? They're kicking me out again? That is A-okay. With only 1 stock on Sean, we'll have to see how that ends up going. But, dang, that's a bit of a bummer. I wanted to see that one. Alas. We do what we can with what we got. And unfortunately, Nintendo said I don't have access to that VOD. But Sean was sitting on that 1 stock, so we'll have to see what he could do, what he could cook with that, while Gamma needs to desperately get that stock off the board. As we saw earlier in Game 1, WellSky got that really big lead at the beginning with their lead. And from there, it kind of just snowballed out of control. So if Gamma could kind of stop any of that shenanigans from going on again by taking Sean's stock without losing too much of their own, it would be pretty good for PUG. All right, I think they found the victor here. See who came out on top. All right, yeah, Gamma was able to take the stock. Pretty good for PUG, pretty good. All right. So, I guess we're waiting for the next. Oh, he literally joined in as soon as I transitioned. That's pretty good. But now, while I guys got you here, hope you've been enjoying the games as we see what we can. But I think PUG doing a lot better. We got an even Steven crew battle here for game 2, so I am excited to see what happens here. As we're getting some fresh faces from WellSky. They only were able to use 2 competitors last time, so a couple of the other guys getting off the bench, getting a little bit warmed up. For instance, we haven't seen the Shulk, and I'm excited to see, you know, what they bring to the table. Shulk, obviously, you know, a pretty powerful character, especially when it comes to fighting other sword fighters. You know, there's not really many with the reach of the Monado, so Dom can use that to excellency. It will make this a lot harder for Gamma. And then on top of that, you know, Shulk has a unique property from the Monado to alter and augment his properties. You know, if he wants a speed boost, he can, you know, switch over to the speed art. If he wants a damage boost, he could switch over to Buster. If he wants to prioritize his jumping power, he could switch over to Jump, and many more. So it's honestly a very versatile character. And speaking of versatile, that big forward air, just great at collecting stocks when you send your opponent off stage. So Dom playing it pretty well so far. But, you know, Gamma unfazed, lands that up smash, trying to take the KO, but not quite working. Battlefield has a pretty high ceiling, so you really got to send your opponent far up if you want to take that stock. Okay, a missed grab gives Gamma the perfect opportunity to swing back, but needs to find that, you know, that fatal blow. And speaking of fatal blow, there it goes. The Heart Piercer, get a little bit of charge on it, and you'll do some great damage. Okay, but Dom trying to send Gamma to the skies with that up air there. Not quite connecting. Bit of up smash, though, for Gamma to kind of keep the fight going. Oh, it just spaces out. This is what I was talking about with that Monado's reach. Dash back, F smash, just barely clips Gamma. Sends him packing. And, yeah, PUG now gonna be down. But only a couple of stocks. They're still within striking distance. You know, as long as you're within that 3-ish stocks, you're within striking distance. You're only down a guy, just down one body. Very, very comebackable. But obviously, if you're PUG, you don't want to be fighting for the back. It would be very big here for whoever comes in next to get Dom off the board efficiently. Because we've seen some pretty dominant games from Dom. So, if they let him get going, there's no telling on how this match will end up. And with that, they don't know nothing about that. Because I don't know anything about that either. But, PUG here, sitting on the last 3 guys. You know, they are down 1-0 in the series. So, if they do lose this crew battle, that will go to an ultimate victory for the WellSky crew. So obviously, PUG will want to put up a fight here before they just, you know, sit down and let WellSky walk out of here with another dub. Right. Alright, just making sure the stage is all good to go. Alright, getting right into it. Okay, so Dom just drops the stock because, you know, just the battle scars from the previous fight. But we're getting right into it here, sitting on Battlefield. So it's going to be big for Kim to obviously take some stocks, but like I mentioned, Dom is a little notorious. I mean, it's in the name, Dominator. He can really just, you know, take things out of control here. But, you know, Cam trying to keep his footing. It is going to be important. There it goes with good quick draw there, and follows up with a dash attack, putting on the damage. But man, a slick counter from Dom. Not enough damage though to take him off the screen. You know, that is one of the big perks of Ike, is that he got big pecs and he can survive for a while. But the forward air does clean it up. All right. So Cam trying to, you know, clean up with these burst options. That quick draw and the dash attack going to be, you know, some of the fast options that Ike has available to them. Okay, just cleaving that upper platform Dom is with that up tilt. It's going to be very powerful at just that job. You know, you can just see how much coverage it has. You know, it makes it really scary to be above Shulk. Okay, dash back. It does get the forward smash. Dom has been adjusted here to the quick draw. Has decided to just barely get out of the way and punish really hard there. Dang, Cam whiffs on another counter, but does get that one. High risk, high reward is that strategy, especially with the Buster art there. You know, how Shulk's arts work, while it does give him those boosts, they also come with drawbacks. And Buster specifically makes you take more damage, allowing you to deal more damage. So Cam able to take the stock really well there. Oh, but we just are off from the ledge, and Cam spikes himself down. But not without doing some damage here. Dom is going to be sitting on his last stock, but PUG is going to be sitting on their last two competitors. Okay, so Dom's still hanging in there with that last stock. Able, I think now total is up to 6 total he's taken here. Pretty good record on his side, but obviously PUG still has 2 players on their team. 10 stocks left on the WellSky side, so that's just 5 apiece. That's light work, you know. I think WellSky's team has averaged taking 5 stocks, so it's very much doable. We're not out of this yet. If we're Team PUG, gonna bring in our boy the Orange to see what he could do, and if he could put this team on his back and get us going. On the other hand, though, obviously Dom, he was brought in for a good reason, and that's because he could play some freaking Smash Bros. And is looking to kind of put this one away. You know, with that 1-0 victory in the last game, WellSky just needs to put to rest these 2 other PUG competitors to claim ultimate victory in this best of 3 crew battle. Alright, so it comes down to the wire. This is going to be probably the second most important match of this. Oh, he's going Ness. Okay. But this is going to be the second most important match of this game, this crew battle.
3, 2, 1, go!
We're here on PS2, and Dom is going to have to drop 2 stocks as previous battle scars from previous fights against other PUG crew battle members. All right, so let's get right into it. Pops that speed art and just brings the fight to the Orange. Okay, but hey, the Orange is ready to strike back. Not just gonna let you get away with that free pressure. If you miss a swing, I'm gonna put a pause on you. Getting another grab, putting Dom kind of slowing down his offense. A nice little side magnet there to confirm it to the forward air. Orange is looking in top form here. You know, Ness notoriously kind of struggles with opponents that kind of wield these swords, as it makes it hard for them to get in. But wow, just like that, Orange puts Dom away with the Nair. No double jump means that recovering that one is going to be rough. And yeah, Orange really bringing this Ness out and putting on a show, and you know, maybe rallying Team PUG and saying that, hey, the crew, we got a possibility. We're back within striking distance within that 3 stock window. PUG can make this comeback and push us to game 3. So keep it up, keep it up. So, if you guys are just joining in, welcome to the Kansas City Corporate Esports Cup. We got a battle here between PUG's Smash crew battle team. That's a lot of words just to say that they are a group of guys playing a crew battle here. But they're versing WellSky's squad, and we have a pretty close competition here. Like I like to say for crew battles, they're within striking distance, meaning they're within that 3 stock window, meaning that they're only down 1 team member. So, as you can see, it is best of 3. WellSky won the first crew battle, so PUG is on the hot seat. If they don't win this one, they lose the set. And WellSky walks out with the supreme victory. And speaking of supreme victory, they bring in the guy who put PUG down in the last game, Omega on the Grom. Alright, but big start here for the Orange. Kind of collected a lot of damage with this PK Fire. Doing exactly what it is meant to do here. Can't find the back air to seal it out, though. Oh, a big swing and a miss there. But honestly, Orange not taking too much damage and is fine with the state of things here. Okay, that PK Thunder doesn't really break Crom's armor, but that back air doesn't care what you were winded up there. Just gonna seal the stock here. The Orange playing really well on this Ness. Okay, Omega trying to, get the juggles up, but Ness, has some good air mobility, so able to kind of just drift down, use those platforms on Battlefield to kind of as safe harbor. But Omega gonna take it a little bit more slow, playing behind here, just gonna swing the sword strikes that will land. Very ambitious recovery there from the Orange, but got stuck on the platform here. Big F tilt, sending the Orange right back away. Omega playing very disciplined here, just waiting to counter strike. There goes a nice up tilt, and the up air seals the stock at 150 on the dot. A nice, beautiful back and forth here as both players seem evenly matched. Whoever can take this stock will have the momentum going into the last. Ooh, that big up B, like I said, so satisfying for Omega to connect that, as it does over 20% and just keeps climbing here. Putting this game further and further out of Orange's reach. Sheesh, speaking of reach, that F tilt has been a really good move for the Omega here. Another F tilt. Getting stage control, but that back throw puts Omega in a very precarious scenario there. PK Fire into the down throw. That double fire, double trouble on that one, but F tilt into F smash. Prediction on the Orange wanting to drift in there, and it just cleaves a path, giving Omega a big lead. Oh, but the tail only gets Omega there, so just runs right through that PK Thunder Lightning, and yeah, just I doubled up there. Thunder Lightning. Whoa. There's your horses there, big guy. But there goes a Dancing Blade and the F tilt. Another forward air. Oh, but saving the double jump. The Orange doesn't get the angle, though. Just a little sharp, a little acute on that one. And loses it to Omega. man. Okay, so I just cut in that PUG. So I think officially PUG only had 4 players there. So I think technically that's the set. All right, so I just got word that they're going to be doing a little bit of a grudge match. Technically, the crew battle is over, but PUG wants to get a quick 1v1 in here to really send us off. I think we're waiting on the competitor. These two just want to get a little bit more Smash, and I love it when more Smash is played. So I will set the stage for them, and they're going to just go right at it. I'm excited. Let me set this up there. So, if you guys are just tuning in, welcome to the Kansas City Corporate Esports Cup. Our crew battle has just wrapped up, basically. WellSky won 2-0 over PUG. But we're getting a little bit of a grudge match between 2 WellSky players to send us off here for stream. I think it's going to be a fun one. They're right in it, so let's get into it. Freaking grudge match time. Let's do it. All right, so they're going on Kalos. A very unconventional pick for a fight here, but I think there's a little bit of history between these two. So they have played many a times and obviously are repping the same squad. So there's going to be a little bit of familiarity, and they're looking to just duke it out on this stage here. Okay, the forward throw. Oh, and a big yo-yo is going to put Omega on the back foot here. So far, so good here. And these fans are eating. Omega, though, this is what I like to see. So Omega, we saw it at the end of the crew battle. When he loses that first stock, he's able to kind of recompose and just kind of lock in and be like, okay, time to slow down the game and just start counter punching. And we see that going on here, but honestly, our boy on the nest doesn't care. Just brings out that big F smash and cleans up the stock, even avoids the trade there. But, oh, a bad angle on the PK Thunder. Got a little bit ambitious. We'll take a 1 stock for 1 stock trade. But honestly, this puts Omega in a bad scenario. But gonna start out big grab. Oh, it cleans up with a forward smash. It seems like got a little bit too antsy on the winning side there. But honestly, hanging on to the stock is big. A big PK fire starter, but can't find the second one. And I'm scared because both of these characters, when knocked off stage, could lose their stock in an instant. The double jump isn't going to be enough, and Omega falls. Good games, though. Thanks, guys. That was fun. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap up stream. That was fun. All right, gamers. Well, I'm especially if you hung around this long. Thanks for sticking it with me. Once again, this is a Kansas City Esports Corporate Esports Cup. We like to have fun around here, and another crew battle for the books. This is your boy Big M, and until next week, where Wednesday once again, right after Rocket League, we'll have another Smash Bros. Crew battle. I believe I believe my boy Kozak will be manning that one. So, keep it tuned. Keep it posted. Keep us posted. We'll keep you posted. Until next time, this is your boy Big M, signing out.